This is a bit awkward. First of all, welcome back. It's the Brownbag talking sports. I'm going to be covering the Niners game right now, but it's not really that interesting or anything. At least to me, or anyway. Just going to get these stats out of the way real quick. First of all, Niners went to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay kicked their tails by 20 by over 20 points. 27-9. Jameis Winston had two touchdowns, 312 yards, and 29 completions out of 38 attempts. Nick Mullins had two interceptions, one touchdown pass, 221 passing yards, and 18 completions out of 32. Um, I'm kind of just testing this out a bit because I want to talk about more teams than just my team. Like, I want to talk about the whole NFC South in general, and if there are like some really good games, like that Chiefs versus Rams game, or like that, I'll definitely be talking about those type of games if I have interest in them. But mm, like this, the problem with doing like an NFC South type of thing is kind of like the Bucks aren't that good of a team. Like they had a win this week, but they aren't really that good of a team. Like they beat up on a Niners team that has like two wins, if I believe. Here, let me see real quick. And they played at home. Niners had to travel on the road, so I don't even really believe in them. I mean, but yeah, they're 2-9 right now. Um, yeah, 2-9. So like I said before, um, I just really don't care about this game because you just beat up on a team that wasn't really worth anything to begin with. Um, I mean, Jameis had a pretty good game, but Jameis is so inconsistent. You can't really talk about him, talk about his success. I mean, Bucks are 4-7 right now, so that pretty much puts them at the end, at the bottom of the NFC South barrel. I mean, Falcons aren't that good, but I think they're better than Buccaneers. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm a hater on Jameis, but I'm not really hating. He's just not that good. He's just too inconsistent. Like, there are games where he can play amazing, but there are some games where he's just not good at all. Like, he'll just throw interceptions on top of interceptions. Like, Jameis had that one play, um, he had that one play in the Giants game where he could have thrown it a couple yards, got the player out of bounds, or thrown it a little bit closer, but no, he went for it all, and then he threw an interception to basically seal the game. They lost that game 35-38. Thank you, Giants. And also, Giants fans, sorry for that loss against the Eagles. That was terrible. Eli, I can't believe Eli. But and Pat Shermer too. I can't stand Pat Shermer. But yeah, we're not talking about that game. We're talking about this game. Um, but yeah, sometimes he can look very good. Other times he just looks like trash. And his inconsistency honestly baffles me because looking in college, he was really good. And I know the NFL is different from college, but I don't know. I just don't really have any strong thoughts on him. I mean, he faced the 49ers team, 49ers defense that was traveling and that only won two out of their last 11 games. So, well, it would probably be two out of their last 10 games before this game. So, there would be 2-8 before this game, 2-9 after. So, yeah. I mean, this doesn't really do anything for them, and even in the NFC South rankings, I mean, they're still below. Like I said, they were below before. I didn't even check before, and I figured that they were below. Falcons and Bucks have the same lead, have the same record, but they've yeah, I'm not sure how Falcons are ahead of them, but they're basically at the same level, and unless they win out and the division leaders just stop caring about their wins. Like if Carolina, I don't even know if it's good enough for that. I mean, I don't know if a 9-7 team can snatch a wild card spot. I mean, if all the other wild card contenders lose out and Buccaneers just win all of their next, let me see, I'm pretty sure it's 5 games, but yeah, their next 5 games, I don't see this even really mattering. Um, I'm not a big fan of tanking, losing on purpose to get high draft picks, but I mean that be more helpful to them for next season rather than just trying to play this season. I don't know. I mean, the one thing that they could do is play spoiler towards New Orleans, but even then, that's kind of confusing in a way because, wait, let me explain real quick. I had to drink some water, but yeah, New Orleans is the head of the NFC South right now, and they play the Saints. They've already beaten the Saints before in the first week, so they play the Saints one more time. So they could play a bit of spoiler when it comes to NFC South, to NFC as a whole, when it comes to NFC leaders, because every Saints fan and every NFL fan knows that the Saints are trying to get that home field advantage because they're basically a lock for the playoffs already. So they're trying to win out right now. So, I mean, they could try and maybe play spoiler for them, but even then they beat them once in the they beat them once before, but then they play us like one week, so it doesn't even really matter that much. I don't know. I mean, it's just really it's just really nothing to talk about concerning this game. I mean, Bucks fans, I'm happy for you that you won a completely easy game. I mean, you're not going anywhere, but I'm glad that you guys got a break from from your usual misery. I mean, losing to the Giants is miserable enough, but losing, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll talk about the Niners, but even then, I mean, the only thing I can really say about the Niners is that there are a few people when Nick Mullins came in on that Raiders Thursday night game, they blew them out, and it's like, and some people were trying to ride this Nick Mullins hype train, I guess. But the thing is that the Raiders are terrible. The Raiders lost by 30 points, 31 points. They didn't even score a touchdown. Like, the Raiders are pathetic. I'm surprised that they've managed to win 2 games this year, but yeah, I mean, the Raiders are just not that good of a team. And then everybody was like, oh, Nick Mullins, he's the second coming of Garoppolo. I mean, it wasn't that, it wasn't that, the expectations wasn't that high. I mean, obviously I'm exaggerating a bit, but some people were seriously like, hey, Nick Mullins, he could be the next Garoppolo. Like that late season quarterback who absolutely balls out. But I mean, he played against the Raiders. At least Garoppolo faced a couple of teams. At least he held up some consistency those last weeks when they were basically out of playoff contention unless some miracle happened. Um, I mean, it's nice to see not Raiders, it's nice to see 49ers fans happy a bit. I mean, ever since they lost Garoppolo for the entire season, that just, I could never imagine that happening to us. Like, if Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, Michael Thomas, and Drew Brees just went out, that's like our entire offense. Like, I know that Thanksgiving game, we just completely owned Atlanta. Our defense was playing amazing, and we had all of Breeze's four touchdown passes were to undrafted players that we picked up. Um, but still, I mean, Breeze is the key to that offense, and Kamara and Ingram's running attack, while it wasn't the as explosive as it usually was, they were still pretty key in that game, getting first downs and getting yards. Period. And Michael Thomas, don't even get me started on his significance. So, I mean, I just can't imagine that level of heartbreak that happened when Jimmy Garoppolo was not only underperforming, but he was just he just went out the entire season. He got injured. Like, I wonder if he'll be at his top strength as he was before, because a lot of people were hyping him up. But yeah. But yeah, I was basically saying it's nice to see the 49ers fans happy for once. But in reality, it's just like you won against the Raiders. They're basically the Cleveland Browns of the NFL right now. And then some people were hyping this Nick Mullins train up still. And then they got their tails kicked by the Giants at their own home. And then they lost to the Buccaneers. So, I don't know what 49ers fans are doing now. And there's just a lot of sorrow and agony. I mean, I hope Jimmy Garoppolo works out next season. I hope he actually does something next season. But yeah. I guess I could look at their schedule real quick. 49ers are the Seahawks. They're playing Seahawks at Seattle, so that'll probably be a loss. I mean, like I said before, it's a divisional game, so you never know, but it's probably just going to be a loss. I mean, 49ers aren't that good to begin with. Broncos versus 49ers at San Francisco. That's going to be a loss. I mean, Broncos are inconsistent as whole heck, but they're a pretty decent team. So, and they got some momentum against that from that Pittsburgh game. So, yeah, they'll probably just sweep you over you and just moved on to the next game. Um, but yeah, next game after the Broncos, they play the Chicago Bears, so that's gonna be a loss. I mean, Nick Mullins isn't doing anything against that Chicago Bears defense. Um, even if their even if their offense plays like crap, so that's another loss. And then you guys play a division rival, the Rams. That's a loss. I mean, depending on whether they start their starters at that point, because Rams are pretty hot right now and they don't look like they're going to be stopping. They're going to be playing Detroit soon, so I mean, if you guys could win against them, that might put us the Saints in the that might put them in a better position to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, but I don't see winning against them if they don't start their starters. That's just something I do not see happening. And considering that they probably want home field advantage throughout the playoffs too, that's especially not going to happen. So you guys are going to lose. But yeah, I guess that's it. Sorry if it was a bit bland or uninteresting this time, but there's just really not much to say. I mean, the 49ers are trash, and there's probably, except for the Seahawks game, there's probably going to be no wins in their future, so I guess it's time to tank because Jimmy didn't work out, but maybe he'll work out next year. You just gotta get some pieces around him. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video. If you don't, well, just leave. But yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys for that Dallas Cowboys preview. So, see ya.